Systems over here. Welcome, the power of image, and this is a video to answer one of the questions that specifically asking about rings, about the rings that I have, why I bought them, why I use them, if they have a specific meaning or something like that, right? So before I get into the specific meaning of each ring that I have, for the people that have done a Skype session with me, you should never wear something for the fuck of it, right? You should always add up a story behind that item, suit, that piece of clothing that you have. And also, oh man, my contact lenses are killing me. Woo, anyway. Wear them because they are congruent with you. That's the first thing. They are congruent with your essence. They are aesthetic and they work for your proportions, meaning they work for your own SPFC rule or SPFC system. And third, wear them because they have a meaning for you, right? Remember that one of the laws of imagology is image is relative to you and the needs of your target audience, right? And your objectives. So anything that I wear, it has a story, it is congruent. And to go a little bit beyond the things that I wear, you know, the garments that I wear, I always add up a story, but also I add power to them. That's right, I said it, I add power. I attach a certain energy to them, right? I get into my sadhana and I start really focusing energy into my objects, right? Into the things that I want. I could show you a lot of things that I have right now, but I just want to show you let's just keep it at rings today, right? So, quick example. The stories are, if you're talking about seduction, or if you're talking about, you know, persuasion, if you're talking just about social dynamics, when you add up a story into the smallest things, like this tie clip, this is a beautiful tie clip. However, if I add a story, then, first of all, I wear something that stands out, right? This is something that normally, now people, men nowadays, they don't use this stuff. And they don't make them like this anymore. Look at them. It has sapphire on them. True sapphire. These little red dots, it's sapphire. How many men do you know that they have something like this? Well, the story goes that this belonged to my father, my grandfather, right? And I always get into this topic of, can you imagine, you know, living in that time, that era of, you know, the 40s and the 50s, how people would, you know, how would a man actually consider getting a tie clip with sapphire on them, right? Like, they paid tremendous amount of detail into the smallest things. Even though they look like the same, you know, like everyone was wearing suits, everyone was wearing hats, but they took the time to go into the tailor. They took the time to, you know, get a little thing like this, get the tie bar, you know. So I find that amazing, right? So that's just, you know, depending on the situation, I adjust, right? I calibrate. But I just showed you a little bit of it, right? How I get into a whole fucking story out of something so simple. I have a focal point here, right here, with this beautiful tie clip. And if a woman or if a person, you know, if I'm on a networking event and somebody comments on my tie clip or someone compliments me on this, I'm not gonna say like, oh yeah, you know, it's beautiful, yeah, I know. Or, oh bro, where'd you get it? Oh, I don't know, man, I just bought it out of eBay. Nah, that is not social dynamics. That is not being a master of communicator, right? So you add a story to that and immediately you are in the social interaction. You are leading them into whatever you want to do with them, whether it's getting the phone, whether it's, you know, getting a prospect or so. In regards to all of my rings, let's go one on one. The first one, this ring. This ring is made out of silver, of course. It represents me because the style, yes, you know, the question was how it relates to power of image or the 7 different styles. They relate, okay? There are maybe I can show you after I finish this video. I can show you different styles on rings. Style is everywhere. Remember that, brother. Style is everywhere. The style of my computer, everything has style on it. And if you really study the universal style theory, then you can start seeing it. You will filter life through through the style theory, and you will be saying, oh, okay, so this ring is I don't know, romantic style. Oh, okay, now that ring is dramatic style. Okay, then you see, you start filtering absolutely everything, whether it's rings, fashion, form of communication, movements, anything. All right, style applies to absolutely everything on this world or in this reality. This is something that I bought out of a Viking. So the story is kind of funny. I was walking downtown in Mexico, and Mexico City, and I saw a little tiny shop of a Viking, you know, like a fucking dwarf out of literally The Hobbit, you know. He was working on his rings and metals, and I saw this piece, and I was like, damn, I actually saw two pieces. These two. And he was working on them. Well, he actually already made them, but he was working on something. And I was like, whoa, man, that the amount of effort that he was putting into his objects. So I was really moved to do it. Like, oh man, every time I see handcrafted things, or every time I see someone, you know, putting a lot of effort into something, I applaud it, I admire it, and I support it. So this caught my attention, and these two caught my attention. I'll get into this later. Because he actually told me that this is some of the runes of the Vikings, you know, like kind of like Odin and stuff like that, like the gods. So immediately I got a vibration of strength, force, you know, like pure force, like the Vikings and stuff like that. Like this is something that maybe Ragnar Lothbrok would wear, stuff like that, right? So that's why I bought it. Remember that I told you, you can attach energy, meaning power, if you want to say it like that. You can attach energy into objects. That's right. If there are certain objects that, how do you call it? They conduct energy better than other things. For example, metals conduct better than plastics, right? And, you know, stones or crystals, they are the best ones to get energy, right? So you can attach energy to them. So every ring that I have, I've attached a certain energy to them. Maybe I will teach you how to do it, because on the I named advanced training or something like that. I did the first video. I was about to teach you how to channel spirits or higher energies. I was about to teach you something that is very, very mystical. This is one of the things that I can teach you. So if you're interested, maybe I'll do a video. But it takes time, right? It takes time. You must really concentrate. It is like meditation, sadhana. It's something very specific, and you place energy into them, right? Literally. So the energy that I placed on this is confidence. Pure, magnetic, beautiful confidence. The sense of strength, like, oh, nothing can break me. I'm completely strong, like the energy of a warrior, right? So this is it. Depending on what finger you use a ring, it has a different meaning. This is something that I learned from history, from the Greeks, for example. Depending on which ring they used their rings, depending on which finger, I'm sorry, they were more in tune with a certain and a specific god. For example, this is the god Ares, Harris, I don't know how to pronounce it in English, but the god of war, right? So if you wear rings on the pink ring, it is more like you're more aggressive, more, you know, the people that wear them here. Normally they're gangsters, right? The pink ring, they're gangsters, and their whole aura and the whole energy is like that. So it makes sense. So everything has a purpose and a specific reason. So never do stuff like, oh, yeah, I'm just doing it because, yeah, you know what? That's average, you know, like, oh, well, why did you wake up today? Well, I don't know, man, I just woke up. Fuck. Why did you wear your pink suit today? Shit, I don't know, man, I just found it in my closet, so fuck. On my wardrobe, it was there, so I just used it. Why do you wear your rings? Well, I don't know, man, I just saw them and I liked them. That is so fucking average, man. This is one that I bought, and I saw this. And they told me, they explained me that this has to do with Dionysus, the god of fun, the god of wine and debauchery, and you know, all of that, right? So if you can see it, it has a little grapes. He's the god of grapes. Over here, they're supposed to be grapes. They brought it out of Greece. So I was like, damn, this is very fun, you know, this is very beautiful. The name of this stone is called onyx. The black stone is onyx. And they couldn't tell me anymore, you know, but I attach a certain energy to it, and this energy is about fun, pure fun, you know. But normally I would use it here, because in getting to the story that this is a ring of Dionysus, and then the finger and all of that, and it's, you know, and it makes sense, right? One of the first rings that I ever bought on my own, right? The stone that has over here is obsidian. The stone is obsidian, and it is supposed to keep negative energies out of you. So I bought it as a protection, you know, like, yeah, you know, and as a way of reconnecting to my ancestors and stuff like that. Then when I learned how to attach energies into stuff, I attached the energy, and I actually did it with another person, which I'm not gonna name, but we did it together. This is the first ring that I ever created an energy, so, and specific, I give it a purpose, and the purpose is clarity, complete, beautiful clarity, seeing everything clear, not being obscured by external forces, by my inner forces, by anything. I wear this to see clearly, you know, to see what everyone is trying to say completely, you know, like if you're trying to lie to me, you know, to see the true essence of each person. This is like the superpower that I attach, and then to not be confused inside of my head, and to see clearly what others are trying to say to me, what, you know, there's a lot of mischievous motherfuckers out there. So that's the one that I use. If you study sacred geometry, and then if you see this, things will start making more sense. You see, everything has a reason. And then from there, I can go into my story. Have you studied sacred geometry? Oh, no, I haven't. Oh, man, you know, do you know the meaning of the hectagram? Oh, yeah, well, and then you start, and yeah, and then you show them. Yeah, so that's why I have this ring, because blah, 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 right? This one is the latest, the one that I got. I don't get these rings just because they're so beautiful, they're so fashionable, right? I get them out of thrift shops. There you go. And you know, they have like they pull me, you know, and I see them and I'm like, yes, you know, I'm gonna rock them. That's why I don't have that many, you know. They have to talk to me, if that makes sense. They choose me. This is emerald. I don't know if you can see it. Emerald stone. And it has the royalty sign over here. I've explained you the exercise of the kingdom, right? Probably you know. If you don't, then schedule your Skype consultation with me. So this has to do a lot with my kingdom exercise within my inside of my head. So when I went into the holidays, it was, you know, last December, I did a video where the place that I go, the place that I went, and I actually did a live lecture over there on perception, on perceiving beyond things and the different minds. This is when I got it. And the power, I went there, I went to the beach completely alone. I went to a place where, you know, a virgin beach, and it was beautiful, and I attached to it wisdom. This has, even the color of it, even the color, you know, study the power of colors. It represents like old wisdom, like this level of wisdom that is always there with you. The Akashic records. If you don't know what that is, ask me questions. The Akashic records, you know, the history of everything, of all my past lives, of all the wisdom within the world, Mother Nature, all of that, everything I placed on this little rock, emerald. And rocks or crystals, they are the best ones, because they are the first form of energy, vibration, frequency, and you know, like maybe consciousness. Well, not consciousness, but they are the first form of energy made physical. They are the geometrical form of crystals. I'm talking about the molecules of the crystals, how they are arranged. Man, it's so beautiful. They're perfect. So, okay. And then, and crystals are, you know, liquid. And remember that you can change. I sent you the video. You can change the molecules, the molecular structure of water. So if you can change that with a glass of water, imagine what you can do to yourself into things like this. So, this one, it also has, like, you know, Celtic or Celtic runes over here, which I love them. But this is about a tetragrammatron. I don't know how to say that in English. tetragrammatron. I don't know, man. But you've seen this in the mystical knowledge. You've seen this in the esoterical knowledge, in the occult, right? This star represents many things which I will not cover today. I will cover in another video. Or maybe you can ask me the question and I'll send it to you. It protects me. Depending on how you wear it. If you wear it like this, or if you wear it like this, it represents something completely different. But I always wear it like this because it's protecting me like a motherfucker. You have it. These are the meanings of each fucking ring that I have. And not only on my rings, but on absolutely everything that I wear. Everything that I wear has a purpose, has a meaning, has a story. And it is good because it adds power to the things that you wear. This is the power of image. And also it gives you more like, you become more interesting. You're not average like, oh, you know, I just do it because, I don't know. I don't even know why I wear what I wear. No. You become above average, and it is good for seduction, it is good for persuasion. Keep sending me your questions, and I'll make sure to answer them all.